I'm Richard Paul Robinson, and this is my week last week.
Well, London mayoral candidate Siobhan Benita has said cannabis should be legalised to stop young people being drawn into crime. The Liberal Democrat candidate said the idea of legalising the drug was no longer controversial. In an interview with The Observer, she said drugs play a large role in pulling young people into serious violence and that the crime in London makes it a good place to try legalising the drug. Next, Londoners are being invited to travel back.
Last week, once again, there was an unacceptable loss of life in our community. Nearly every week, families are having to be told the devastating news that one of their loved ones has been murdered on our streets in London.
2 people have been murdered in separate attacks in North London, less than a mile apart. Shakira Mercedes, who was in her early 20s, was stabbed just before midnight. Minutes later, a man in his 20s died after being shot. Police say they don't believe the attacks are linked, but in Camden there's real concern after a night.
The BBC's Andrew Marr show today, London's mayor again blamed government cuts, but praised what he said was a new approach.
The good news is, and it is good news, that this Prime Minister and this Home Secretary finally accept there is a link between massive cuts and the increase in violent crime. And what I've had for the last...
Sharp boy. She's vibrant. She wants the best for her son. This is completely out of the blue. It's a complete shock to everybody.
Shakira Mercedes died on the pavement in the dark, stabbed by someone she knew. She was 22.
By all accounts, she was a bystander in this. Apparently, a couple of girls had an altercation, an argument, and then out of the blue, someone picked up a knife and stabbed her in the chest.
Terry and Renee campaigned to stop this from happening. They have seen too many tents like this one, too many families left incomplete.
I think the clear message that last night sends out is, you know, it can be anyone, and the fact that you're just carrying a weapon, even between friends, whether it's gang-related, crime-related, none of those, all of those things are irrelevant. You will use these weapons if you have them on you. Just don't have them on you.
Police were called here just after 11 o'clock last night. They say they arrested a 35-year-old woman on suspicion of murder.
What I've had for the last 3 years is a government saying it's not our problem, it's your fault. And I've tried to work with government, and I've got to say, this Home Secretary and this Prime Minister have finally woken up.
A few hundred yards away, out on the main road, their colleagues were dealing with another emergency.
The attack happened here at Henry Barrass Recreation Ground around 8:10 last night. Police say the victim was stabbed after a fight. At the time, there was a party going on in the clubhouse just behind me, and people who saw what happened managed to chase down and catch the man they think was responsible. A minister at a local church told me he's had enough of burying victims.
When you bury a young man, it's like a scar. I've had parents come to me after 10 years, has passed the back. Those scars has never healed, and I can understand it. Aunts are affected, mums are affected, uncles are affected, the community is affected. You never forget it.
This is the second fatal stabbing this weekend. Yesterday, a 34-year-old man died in hospital after being attacked at a chicken shop in Lewisham late on Friday night. Him after they found him here last night, but it was too late. The attack happened here at Henry.
We've been saying...
In Edmonton, the search for answers continues. A 40-year-old man has been arrested, but officers believe many more people saw the attack and could help them. Katie Barnfield, ITV News.
man. Gordon gun. Jeez!
Move from here! زي ياخذ move from here! Hey! Will it do more?
Fucking man.